Hello children, welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have learned how to make fire. Now in this lecture, we are going to learn how to put out fire. If something has caught fire, how do we put it out? Okay. Just as three things are needed to start a fire, there are three main ways in which a fire can be put out. Okay. There are three ways, like we need three things to make fire, there are three ways using which we can put it out. In each one of the three things needed for burning is taken away. So, the three things that were used to make a fire, those three things have to be taken away in order to put it out. For example, we can take away the fuel. If you remove the fuel, the fire cannot take place. If the fire has no fuel to feed on, no burning can take place. We often let a fire die out simply by not adding more fuel to it. Sometimes if you stop adding more fuel to the fire, it will stop burning, right? So, the first way to put out any fire is to stop adding fuel, to stop giving it fuel. If it does not have any fuel, it is not going to burn, right? The second way of putting out a fire is to prevent oxygen from reaching it. Now, the second way is to stop oxygen from reaching it. No supply of oxygen means no fire. If there is no oxygen, there will be no fire. Small fires can be put out or smothered with a damp blanket or sack. Now, this can be used only for small fires. You can take a damp cloth. What is a damp cloth? A cloth which has been dumped in the water and then squeezed the excess water out. That is called a damp cloth. So, take a damp cloth, cover the fire. This stops oxygen reaching the burning material, and this will stop the oxygen from entering into the from coming into the fire in contact with the burning material. Sometimes carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. Many times we also use carbon dioxide to extinguish fire. It does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. It will stop the oxygen from reaching the burning material. The third way of putting out a fire is to remove the heat. Third way is to remove the heat source. If the temperature can be brought down below the flash point, the fuel stops burning. So, in the last lecture we have seen what is flash point. So, if you manage to bring the temperature of the fuel below the flash point, the fire can be put out. You blow on a burning matchstick or a candle to put it out. How do you do that? We blow on a burning matchstick or a candle. When you blow a candle, it goes out, right? In doing so, you remove the hot air around the flame, bringing down its temperature below the flash point, and the candle goes out. So, what is happening? When you blow on a candle, you are cooling down the atmosphere, the temperature which is around that burning candle, and as a result, you put out the fire. Sometimes water is spread on a fire. Water can also be used. It absorbs heat from the burning fuel and lowers the temperature. What does water do? It absorbs the heat from the fuel and puts out the fire. The blanket of water also cuts out the supply of oxygen and the fire is extinguished. So, water stops the supply of oxygen and hence the fire can be extinguished. Some fires cannot be put out with water. There are some fires which we cannot put out with water. What are these fires? If water is spread onto an oil fire, now if something has caught fire because of oil, the oil will float to the top of the water and continue to burn. Now, you might have learnt in your science class that oil floats on water. Okay. So, if it is oil fire, means a fire which has been caused because of oil, and if you try to put it out by water, it will not happen. Why? Because oil will float, it will come up. So, water will not help us there. This can be very dangerous because water can flow quickly, carrying the burning oil with it and spreading the fire. Now, this can be even more dangerous because if you add water to the oil, water has less density, so it will start flowing, and with that it will take oil and it will start spreading everywhere. Water should also not be used on fires caused by electrical appliances. So, if there is a fire because of your refrigerator, your AC, your fan, at that time also you should never use water. The person spraying the water might receive an electrical shock. Why you should not use water in such cases? Because the person who is spraying the water might get electric shock and be killed. It can be so dangerous that the person can be killed. A carbon dioxide extinguisher is the best thing to fight an electrical fire. Now, you must have seen those extinguisher, red color extinguisher. What is there inside there? There is carbon dioxide. and this carbon dioxide can be used to put out such fire. So, in this lecture what did we learn? We learned about a few ways using which we can put out fire, because like I told you, it is very important to have fire under our control. If the fire gets out of control, it can be really dangerous. It can harm our lives, right? I hope you understood this well. I will see you now in our next lecture. Till then, bye bye.